Namaste dear students. Today we are here to discuss about the climate change, which is under Unit 6 Nature and Environment of Grade 10 Science and Technology. Are you ready, students? Yes, all of you just come front with your all stationaries. Have you ever gone around your surrounding? What you have observed? What is there? Yes, you have seen plants, animals and air, yes, water, soil. What is there? Everything you have seen. Then what is that? That is nature, okay? And that is environment where we live. Then that environment is changing or always stable. What you feel? Is it changing? Yes, it is changing. It is dynamic. That means now in one day we see one kind of environment and after some days we see the different environment. Or when you stay in your surrounding, you see a kind of environment. When you go to the other places, like if you are residing in the Himalayan region, your environment is different. When you go to the Tarai region, you will find a different environment. What happens? Why it happens? How does it occur, this different nature of environment? Do you think? Here, just this tiny girl is thinking, what type of environment is this? There is a picture is shown in this slide. Then she is thinking, what type of environment is this? Have you ever think like this? When you go to the new places, when you see a new environment, do you think like this? Yes, obviously you think. Then what type of environment is shown in this picture? Is it good or healthy or bad environment? Yes, it seems very healthy and very good environment. There is water, there are plants. Yes, it is healthy environment. Now, another thing. While moving from one place to another place, we see different environment. Then the plants and animals growing on that environment are also different. See, when we go to the Himalayan region, we see a polar bear. And when we go to the Tarai region, in the jungles, we can find out tiger, yeah? Then, but nowadays, these animals in the stage of extinction. What is the reason for these organisms being in the condition of extinction? Have you ever think? Why these animals, some animals are extinct from our world or from our earth? What are the reasons for these extinctions? And what are the major role played by the climate for these extinctions? Today we discuss about all these things, how the organisms are extincting, what are the climate changes occurring and what are the causes of these climate changes. Just we discuss these things and we will also discuss about the types of causes of climate changes. See here, this picture shows there is a greenery and there is also drought condition. Same condition we can observe, that means these two types of condition we can observe in our environment also. These green lands are now converting into drought land like this. just like a desert. What is this? Why it is happening? What is climate? What is climate change? Let's discuss. Climate is defined as the average weather pattern over 30 years. Climate is just, we don't take, environment is changing, yeah. So the whole 30 years, within the 30 years, what pattern change seen in our environment or in our climate or in our surrounding, that is nothing but climate. That means weather pattern over the 30 years that takes place in our surrounding or in our environment, that is called climate. Now, this is different from the weather. Weather is changing every day, even if from morning to evening also. Sometime in morning it is sunny, in the evening it is raining. Okay, sometime there is windy, weather is different, but climate is not a weather. Okay, it is different. Climate will take a long time. That means the climate is the over 30 years, but weather is continuously changing. That means 30 years pattern of weather is called climate. Typically stable in the specific geographical areas. That means in a particular geographical areas, it is stable. Just like in the polar region, the climate is similar, and in the desert region, the climate is over 30 years also, it is not so different. So for the particular area, climate pattern is slightly changed, but not completely changed, but weather is changing. Small natural changes usually don't affect the climate significantly. Already I have told you, weather is changing, but that small effect changes or those small changes in the weather or the environment doesn't affect the climate. But nowadays we are facing various problems in the environment. Sometimes we see there is a heavy rainfall. See, because of heavy rainfall, people are not able to walk here and there also. And sometimes there is drought also. Why it is happening? Previously, our Himalayan range was very high. Nowadays, those Himalayan range are also decreasing. Height of the Himalaya is also decreasing because of melting of ice. Why it is happening? Do you know the causes? This change in the pattern of the weather, that is called climate change. Okay. Now, here this small baby is looking at this piece of land and she is thinking herself, why this land is so dry? Why there is no rainfall? If there was rainfall, it may be wet, but it is very dry. Why it is happening? These all are the result of climate change. Due to climate change, see, just I told you the Himalayan range also, now Himalayas are also becoming just like a desert. All the ice, it is melting down, and there is just, we see, just there are only empty mountains can be seen without ice also. Okay. There is, what is climate change? How can we define the climate change? Long-term alteration in weather patterns. It is nothing but climate change. And global issues affecting developing countries are more severely. This climate change is especially, if we see in a global level, it seems that in the developing countries, its effect is severe than in the developed country. In the developing country, more effect is seen. What is the situation of Nepal? If we see the Nepal situation, low greenhouse emission but high risk. Even though in our country, the greenhouse gases are emitted in limited amount, but there is even risk. Temperature increasing by 0.06 degree Celsius annually. Per year, temperature is increased by 0.06 degree Celsius. And there is impact on water resources and mountains also. That means the migration taking place because of not getting drinking water in the mountain and hilly regions. All the water resources are drying up. Because of that, people are not able to stay in their own birthplaces or the native places. They are migrating from hilly region to Tarai region. And even in the mountains are melting. That means the height of the mountains are also decreasing. All the ice which is just present in this mountain region is melted, and there are different changes are seen in the mountains also. Glacier melting, globes, those are seen due to the climate change. What are the causes of climate change? Now, the climate causes means what caused the climate change? In this picture we can see, this is, what is this? Yes, it is a volcanic eruption. When there is volcanic eruption, that means all the things which is from the inside the earth, it comes out in the form of smog, dust, etc. For some time it used to, that means what it does, increases the temperature, pollute the environment, and because of that it causes the climate change. Now another one is, there is deforestation. There is firing takes place in the forest, and because of this also it causes the climate change. How does it occurs? Let's discuss. These climate changes are classified into two types. This is natural cause. It is not human made cause. It is not made by the human. Naturally it happens. So this is the natural cause, and this one is human made. Human are inviting this climate change by their activities. Like deforestation is done by the human being, forest firing, even many things. What we do, what are our activities in everyday life, that also reflecting this climate change. That means that is seen on the effect is seen in the climate also, which cause the climate change. So what are the natural causes? Let's discuss. Natural causes. These are the natural phenomena that influence the climate. What are the natural phenomena? Which takes place in the nature without involvement of the human being. Those are the natural phenomena. Okay, and those are the natural cause. It contributes to greenhouse gas emission. It increases the greenhouse gas in the environment. And also the main three natural causes, what are those? There are so many, but we discuss only three main causes here. What are those three main natural causes? Solar activities. What are solar activities? Why we need sun? Yes, from the sun we get solar energy. The main source of energy for the earth is sun. Every day it is providing energy in the form of heat and light. But sometimes due to different activities which are occurring in the sun, it directly affect the climate of the earth also. How it will have effect, we will discuss later. And earth's reflectivity. That means when the sunlight falls on the earth's surface, from the surface of the earth, the light rays reflected away. Okay, reflection takes place on the surface of the earth. That reflection also causes some effects on the climate. Next one is volcanic eruption. When there is volcanic eruption takes place, different kinds of substances which from the core of the earth, from the inner part of the earth, it comes out at a time with a high temperature, and different kinds of metals, non-metals and different substances comes out of the earth, and which increases the greenhouse gases in the environment. That also cause the climate change. First, solar activities. how solar activity cause the climate change. Let's discuss. This is sun. How the energy is produced in sun? We discussed in the class 9 chapter also, yes. How it is produced? There is thermonuclear fusion reaction takes place. Yes, what is thermonuclear fusion reaction? 4 hydrogen atoms combine together to form the helium. At that time, large amount of heat and light energy, that means large amount of energy is released from there. That we get in the form of heat and light in the form of radiation. So, these activities are going on inside the sun. So, while those activities are going on the sun, how it affect the Earth's climate? See, as the thermonuclear fusion reaction takes place in the sun, high amount of energy is formed, then that energy is radiated to the earth. It comes to the surface of the earth. Then if there is that means rate of reaction is altered, what happens? Continuously there is thermonuclear fusion reaction is going on, but sometime if there is high rate of reaction and low rate of reaction, what happens? That will change in the energy production, and sometime more energy will come to the earth's surface, sometime less energy come to the surface of the earth, and also affect the solar radiation intensity. Intensity, that means what is the intensity of light? Yes, brightness we can remember. That means during noon, what we feel? Very high temperature. But during morning and evening, the intensity of radiation is low, so we feel low heat, low light, like that. And if there is this thermonuclear fusion reaction rate is changed, what happens? It affects the solar radiation intensity also. Sometime low, sometime high. Because of that also, it also causes the climate change and impacts on the Earth's weather pattern. Because of these changes in the energies produced by the sun, there is an impact on the Earth weather pattern also. Because all the weather pattern of the earth is decided by the solar energy, because the water cycle takes place with the help of solar energy. Different sources of energy which are utilizing on the earth's surface, all are the product of the solar energy. Because of that, this solar activities directly affect the climate, and that is the one of the most important cause of climate change. Even the temperature of the earth is also fluctuated. How much energy is receiving from the sun, the earth decide its temperature. If more energy is receiving from the sun, the temperature will increase. If less amount of energy is absorbing from the sun, then what happens? The temperature will be low. Similarly, if you see in the equator region, temperature is very high because from that region direct sunlight falls on that region. And even in our country also, in summer season we feel somewhat high temperature, in winter season we feel somewhat low temperature, because the solar radiation coming from the sun to the earth differ in summer and winter season. So these solar activities are also important causes of this climate change. Okay, next one is Earth's reflectivity. How much light energy is reflected by the earth? That also causes the climate change. See, from the sun, solar energy is coming in the form of radiation. When it falls on the earth's surface, it reflects back to the atmosphere. Okay, this is called reflectivity. And how much energy is reflected and how much energy is absorbed by the surface of the earth, that also matter for the climate change. Approximately 70% of solar radiation is absorbed by the earth. Okay, remaining are reflected. See, then it is affected by surface condition. That means how much it absorb or reflect it depends on the surface condition of the earth, whether it is a, just like you may have studied in grade 8, 9. That means plain surface reflect more and rough surface absorb more. Color of the substance also differ. That means if it is a black color, it absorbs more. If it is a white color, it reflects more, like that. The condition, surface conditions. And another one is atmospheric composition. You know that our atmosphere is made up of different kinds of gases. What are those gases? Yes, there is nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and many other gases are present in our atmosphere. And the composition, if there is more amount of carbon dioxide, what happens? If there is more amount of oxygen, what happens? That composition also affects the climate change. That means reflectivity of the earth, those sunlight from the earth. So, if there is more amount of carbon dioxide or CFCs, then more heat is absorbed. Then temperature of the surrounding will increase very high. Because of that, there is global warming takes place, which is the part of climate change, as a effect of climate change. And ice coverage. Our earth surface, that means in the polar region, there is ice. Okay, and that ice coverage also affect the reflectivity of the earth. So, because of that also, the temperature is increased or decreased, that depends on this. Water vapor levels, that means our from the sea level, due to sunlight, the water is vaporized. Even in our surface of the earth, there are different surface water, and those surface waters are vaporizing day by day because of this sunlight. That means in the summer season, there is more amount of sunlight falls on the earth surface, that means in our surrounding. At that time, all the rivers, ponds, those dry up. How it is dry up? Yes, no one is taking water. How it is dry up? Just the water present on the surface of the earth will be evaporated, and because of that, it vaporizes and vapor level increases, and that vapors also affect the reflectivity of the earth also. That means in the atmosphere there is vapor, and because of that vapor, the reflection may be low or high. Because of that, this climate change occurs. Next one is volcanic eruption. How this volcanic eruption cause natural, or it is a natural cause, and how does it helps in the climate change? Let's discuss. It releases gases and aerosols. That means many harmful gases and many aerosols, means small dots which are, we call, it is mixed in the air, that is called aerosols. And these aerosols are mixed in the atmosphere, and which increase the temperature or absorption capacity of atmosphere will be increased, heat absorption, and short term cooling effect. There is, for some short time it is seem to be cool, but in long term warming effect. There is more area will be warmed up because of these aerosols, gases which are released from the inner part of the earth. The temperature of the inner part is very high, that is suddenly it is blast out, then it spread over the surface and whole environment is covered. Because of that, there is long term effect of warming. And greenhouse gas emission. When these gases are coming out, there are many greenhouse gases. What are the greenhouse gases? Yes, can you name some? Yes, carbon dioxide, methane, CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, those all, water vapor, all those are increasing in the atmosphere. If there is a greenhouse gases layer is thicker, then the reflected light rays cannot go outside, and it will make a layer, just like you may have seen in the winter season, people used to make a greenhouse, artificial greenhouse, covering their farm with a plastic covers. Yes, tunnels. Have you seen the people farming in the tunnel, like tomatoes and other vegetables? Those which are not found in winter season also, nowadays people are cultivating inside the tunnel. That is just like that. In our surrounding there is a natural greenhouse which is formed by these gases. But if these greenhouse gases increases, what happens? The temperature of the surrounding will also increase very rapidly, and that also cause the climate change. Impact on the atmospheric composition. That means if the different kinds of gases are mixed in the atmosphere, the composition of the natural atmosphere will be changed. Next, human induced causes. What are the human induced causes? See, now we like sophisticated life, we like modern life, we want to use the different modern technology to be happy and to be sophisticated. So there are many industries are required for fulfillment of those requirement. Is it? There are different industries are made. From those industries different kinds of gases are released, and even human beings are making different hazards in the environment like firing. Yes, sometimes in the name of development we are constructing different roads, transportation, etc. Those are also causing the climate change. That means major contributors of the climate change are human causes, also human induced causes, and create thick greenhouse gases layer. That's just like CFC, carbon dioxide, those are released because of the human activities, just like from the industries, transportation, even from firing. Those are forming a thick layer of greenhouse gases that also cause the climate change and trap solar heat. If there is more amount of greenhouse gases, then the more amount of solar heat will be trapped. Because of that, temperature will increase on the surrounding. And in this way, these human induced causes are more severe than the natural causes. Okay, let's see a video how this, just see this, how it is happening. See, there is firing, there is even many gases are released from the industries, which are, those are the greenhouse gases, and there is this is earth or surrounding the atmosphere, that is atmosphere. See, sunlights are falling on it, then they used to go back after reflection, but because of that it is trapped. And just like a greenhouse trap the sunlight, here this greenhouse gas is also trapping it. And from this transportation many gases are released, and there is that means more amount of greenhouse gases are emitted into the environment, and because of that the thick layer is formed which absorb more amount of sunlight, and more amount of light is trapped on that. Because of that it invites the global warming. Now, how greenhouse gas production takes place? First cause of human cause, greenhouse gas production. How it is produced? See, from the industries, and while thermal power plants. Nowadays in the developed countries, just like our hydropower plant, they used to establish thermal power plant, from which they used to use different kinds of coals, etc. for the production of electricity. From that, more amount of carbon dioxide is released, and which cause there is greenhouse gases will increase, and because of that temperature increase. Already you know that. Burning of fossil fuels, every day we are burning different kinds of petrol, diesel, coal, etc. Those fossil fuel increases the amount of carbon dioxide, methane, etc. in the environment or the atmosphere. Heat and electrical energy generation. For the generating heat and electrical energy, already I have told you, the thermal power plants are established. Those thermal power plant produces large amount of heat, as well as they used to cause that means different kinds of gases are released from there, and those gases mixed in the atmosphere which cause the greenhouse effect. And industrial process also, that means different industries are established. Those industries also releases different kinds of harmful gases which are directly mixed into the atmosphere. And transportation emissions also, that means from the transportation also there is different vehicles, like just like nowadays we are using petrol, diesel vehicles. From those petrol and diesel vehicles also they release different kinds of harmful gases, that also causing the climate change. And next one is industrialization. Many industries are established in our Earth surface, those industries are also not, that means they are not using a proper environmental rules. If they follow the environmental rules, it may reduce the climate change also, because if they will not directly release these harmful gases directly into the environment, if they will filter it and they release in the atmosphere, it may reduce that. But it is not even seen in our country, even in the different developed countries also. That's why industrialization is also major factor which is causing climate change. And manufacturing process, different types of equipments are manufactured through the industries, factories, just like brick industries you may have seen in your localities. Even that is a small factory, from that also how much gas is released, have you seen? So such type of big industries, how much energy will be released or how much gases will be released from those industries, can you imagine? So these are the industrialization also major cause of this climate change. Just like cement industry, steel industry, electrical appliances industry, plastic industries, all these industries releases different kinds of harmful gases which are directly mixed into the atmosphere, that cause the climate change. And another one is very easy and very easily we have seen, and even we are participating on that, that is deforestation. Knowingly and unknowingly we are also deforesting, that means we are involving in that. How does it cause? It reduces the forest cover. That means if forest is reduced, the absorption of carbon dioxide will also reduce. So if there is no absorption of carbon dioxide, then what happens? The carbon dioxide will be released in the atmosphere, then that will increase the temperature. And urban development, if there is urban development, what happens? Many houses are constructed, many transportations are there, and that also release the different kinds of gases. And road construction, in the name of road construction we are deforesting. That means while constructing the road, from the middle of the forest we are constructing the road and we are deforesting, and because of that also it is causing the climate change. And agricultural expansion, for the agricultural expansion also people are deforesting. These are the different deforestation process. And also for the human settlement, people are deforesting the forest, and also they are settle the humans on those places. So these are the deforestation process, and that deforestation causes how it causes means, when the deforestation occurs, number of plants will decrease, and if the number of plants decreases, then carbon dioxide absorption also decreases. Then if plants will not absorb the carbon dioxide, those will be released in the atmosphere, and that will increase the temperature. Next, impact of the deforestation. What are the impacts? See, reduced carbon dioxide absorption, decreased oxygen production, loss of carbon storage. If there is no plants, what will absorb and store the carbon? And increase the greenhouse effect. If there is greenhouse effect, there is climate change, obviously it means. And there is soil erosion. Okay, these are some of the impacts of deforestation. And another cause, human cause, is fossil fuel uses. What are the fossil fuel uses means? Already we have talked something about it, just like coal, petrol, diesel. For the industries and factories, coals are used. For the vehicles, we use petrol, diesel, etc. Even for the cooking purpose, we are using LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. That also causing that is also releasing some carbon dioxide, methane, etc. And also this from where it is released, like industries. And transportation sectors means, all of you know that, vehicle emissions. Types of vehicles, that there are different types of vehicles. Some use the petrol, some use the diesel, some use the coal. Just like trains, they used to use coal. That coal, when it burns or when it combusts, it used to release large amount of carbon dioxide and other harmful gases also. So because of this, all causes the climate change. The examples of vehicles, you know, cars, planes, bus, ships, trucks, etc. Now we have discussed so many things about the climate change, okay, and what we have learned till now. Let's discuss through these questions. Okay, which is not a natural cause of climate change? Which is not a natural cause of climate change? solar activities, factories emission, volcanic eruption, earth reflectivity. Which one is not natural? Yes? Yes, it is factory emission. And next one is, how does deforestation cause climate change? See, due to the reduction in carbon dioxide gas utilization, due to reduction in oxygen gas utilization, due to increase in carbon dioxide gas utilization, due to increase in oxygen gas emission. Which one is the correct option? Yes, it is due to the reduction in carbon dioxide gas utilization. That means when the plants reduced, the carbon dioxide utilization is also reduced. So, which cause the climate change. And let's discuss some question, constructed response question. Analyze the relationship between industrialization and climate change in Nepal. What is the relation between the industrialization and climate change in Nepal? What kind of industries you have seen in Nepal? Like, yes, cement factory, yes, brick factories, yes, mostly we have seen those, yeah. Other factories are also there, and from those, what kind of gases and what kind of environmental effect is seen, that used to release the different kinds of gases from the cement industries and from the brick industries. They used to release different kinds of harmful gases which is mixed with different dust particles, carbon dioxide, smog, etc., and that directly released into the atmosphere, and it also increased the greenhouse gas level. That is the cause of climate change. So in that way you can explain and you can write in your copy and show to your science teacher. Explain how deforestation contributes to the climate change and suggest 3 practical solution to address these issues. Deforestation contributes to the climate change. Okay, just you can explain how deforestation, we have discussed in the class, just with the help of class you write these things and practical solution. What can you do for it? Think and write and show to your class teacher, or science teacher, and discuss with your friends also. So you will get more and more knowledge about this climate change. Okay, today we conclude this lesson here, and we will again discuss about these effects of the climate change in the next class. Till then, bye bye, see you.